Hello and welcome to another morning briefing video presented by Stein Investments. I'm Daniel and I'm glad to see you again. And first things first, I'd like to thank every one of you who shared his trading screenshots with me or in our customer user group and telling us how positive the influence of our morning briefing videos is, because it improves their trading and their kind of how to use our tools. And I'm really happy to get such a wonderful feedback, and it motivates me to continue with this stuff and keep you excited. Thanks for that. So based on that, I was also asked if I could provide some templates for the morning briefing screens I use and present here daily, and that was the main reason for the delay of today's video briefing, because I tried to create the currency overview here in MT4, and MT4 is just a pain in the... I don't speak it loud. I lost a lot of time until I finally reinstalled the entire terminal, and then I was able to use my templates and create this overview in the blink of an eye. And long story short, for all our viewers and everyone who's interested, we uploaded the templates we use for our daily morning briefings here to our central Stein Investments page, where you can download them. There are templates for the detailed Forex analysis, for the detailed non-Forex analysis, as well as the currency overview you see here in the background, and the volume power overview with the dynamic on top. And you can just unzip it or copy the profile to your profiles folder and run the templates in your usual templates folder, and then you save an immense amount of time, because you don't have to configure everything yourself. You can just load the templates on your chart and you get the exact same view as we present to you daily. I hope you like it and you'll benefit of it, and if you do, please leave a thumbs up and a subscribe or a comment directly below this video. I am looking forward to your feedback. So let's start with our usual analysis work. There happened a lot here during the past hours, and one of the trends we can see is a volume long trend in the euro, which is also confirmed by the short-term strength, or yeah, I would say short-term because it's only an 8-hour analysis we run here. We can clearly see that the euro is constantly rising since the London opening, but it has to deal with a lot of resistance levels here, because it is still in a valid downtrend considering the long-term analysis, and so it's facing probably even more resistance levels before this trend switches to the positive side. So tricky situation. I dropped it because I prefer to trade a currency in the direction of its long-term trend and not against it, because these moves sometimes end surprisingly quickly, and so I ignored the euro this morning. Going back, we can see there was a huge spike in Japanese yen positions. I don't get why, because there have been no news at all. This spike was mainly in long positions, as we can see here, but the entire sentiment switched already, because we can see there is another spike of rising interest in Japanese yen positions, but this time they are on the short side. And this short trend is also confirmed by the yen weakness we can clearly see here, which goes along with its correlated currency, the Swiss franc. What caught our attention as well was gold, which already exceeded its usual daily range by a lot. We can see here already reached 147%. And if we have a look at the gold chart, this was where we analyzed it yesterday. and where I spoke about how tricky it is to enter a trade in such a dynamic trend move with a reasonable risk and reward ratio. So I told you to better drop it, and I think my advice was perfectly right, because there has been almost no retracement move here at all the entire day. So there was nothing to win here, and the stop loss would have been down there. And it took several hours before the next breakout happened during times with a very low trading volume at all, because it happened during the beginning of the Asian session, reaching another record high at $2,941, hitting the 80% ATR, followed by a sharp drop to the downside back to the opening of today. So yeah, it is risky to trade, and it's interesting to watch, but I wouldn't trade it currently at all, because it doesn't provide any reasonable trading opportunities. So let's move on with our currency overview, and the only clear and stable trend I can currently see is the Swiss franc, which is going down, and maybe the Aussie dollar, which is going back after some weakness here during the past hours, going back to its long-term buy trend. So if we have to pick a pair, I would say going long Aussie dollar against the Swiss franc. And if we check this pair in detail, we can see Aussie dollar against the Swiss franc already reached 63% of its daily range, so there is enough potential for a trade. Let's have a look at the support and resistance situation. We have a new support level here, which would mark our stop for a trade, and there is no resistance inside, so I would use probably the 80 or 100% ATR as profit target. That said, let's place the trade, and we'll see what happens. Remains our trade recap of yesterday's trades, as I promised in the screenshot posting yesterday afternoon. And we can see that the Aussie dollar against the US dollar picked yesterday in the morning briefing didn't work very well. There has been no intensity in this trade, but you can also see that it was good to place the stop below the support level here, because the price dropped down to the support level and then moved upwards again, but had not enough power to continue this move. So I ended up exiting this trade at almost break even. Either way, this is another proof how precise FX level and its SR detection is, because this is simply outstanding. We have a new support level here. The price came back, touched it, and went along the other way. It's not always like that, but I'm happy about the precision we can work with and we can provide to our customers here. The second trade I picked yesterday during midday, after the British pound Aussie dollar broke through this support level cluster, was this short trade, and unfortunately my profit target could not be reached, and so I closed this trade as I noticed that it won't continue the down move, or thought it won't continue the down move. But it's been a nice profit and I'm happy about it. If you need an exit rule, you can also use this cross of the short-term lines here, where the British pound peaks up the Aussie dollar line, and use this as close. But with a bit of patience, you can also see it probably would have reached the profit target a few hours later, but as always I prefer to close my trades at the end of the London session at the latest and be flat overnight when I have no control over my charts. Last but not least, our non-Forex analysis, starting with the Bitcoin as usual. And the Bitcoin formed a new resistance level here, is currently going down. The mid and long-term trend is neutral, but there is some serious short dynamic on the short-term analysis, which reflects exactly what we see here. And if you like to trade it, then place your profit target here and the stop loss right below. It's at least a risk reward of 1-to-1, but it's not very promising because I don't expect any breakout to the up or downside because this is still neutral. Let's move on with oil. Oil is currently in the extreme area of the IX power scale across all its trend analysis, and you can clearly see that here. So if you want to take a trade on oil, there's enough potential. You can see we reached only 70% of its usual ATR, and if you want to take it, place your stop right below this M5 low and use the 80 or the 100% ATR level as profit target. Dow Jones is currently ranging, but it's still pre-market. It will open in approximately 30 minutes, and then we might see some movement, but probably more to the downside because the mid and long-term trends indicating a short trend here. And so, yeah, just have a look at the New York opening and be careful around that due to the high volatility we spoke about yesterday. The German DAX is showing some interesting zigzag moves today, but let's stick to the cold facts. And this is a very strong and extreme strong uptrend on the long-term analysis, medium strong midterm, and a light buy dynamic. So it's a pretty good example for our scalping strategy with IX power, where the short-term trend has to reach the extreme level of the opposite compared to the long-term trend, and then you hop in once the short-term trend goes back in line with its long-term trends. So if you want to go long in a German DAX, place your stop here and you take profit maybe at right below the 80% ATR. We reached only 33% ATR, so there is still a lot of potential left. I usually don't trade the DAX, but this scalping system setup was so promising that I thought, okay, give it a try. And so I placed my stop loss here and took the profit target in this area, and we'll see what happens. That said, I can only repeat that our Stein Investments page is always worth a visit. Here you will find all our strategies we present you here in the morning briefing. You'll find information about all our tools with FAQ and videos, and you'll now get also all the templates we present you here in the morning briefing as well. So I hope you enjoy what we've done for you, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. Thanks for watching. See you and bye-bye.